And good morning, everyone. I'm actually talking here from Ballarat Trades Hall in Ballarat, Central Victoria today. And today is a very, very historic day for us, especially in Australia, but for all workers around the world. Did you know the 21st of April is the celebration of the first ever 8-hour day ever won anywhere in the world? It was won in 1856 in Melbourne by stonemasons, and obviously carried through for other industries right through the ages and to where we are now. It's formed the basis for many years of a lot of worker struggles, for many worker struggles, let's say. And this is also a good little lead up to the May Day rally on May the 1st as well. We're having in Bendigo, which is on Saturday week, May the 1st, obviously 10 o'clock. We will have a march, and obviously we have a breakfast after. And if you wish to actually be involved in the breakfast, it is $10 a ticket, and which are trying to raise money for a workers' memorial and for other struggles as well, and for other projects. And so all you need to do is actually just go to the Bendigo Trades Hall Council Facebook page. Just type it in, it'll take you there, and obviously you'll see the event there for May the 1st. Well, just talking about the importance of this very important date. Today we have a rally. It's a commemoration rally for that first ever 8-hour day one on the 21st of April 1856 in Melbourne. Many years later it was actually one here in Ballarat as well. Ballarat's actually quite a very historic town. It's where the Eureka Stockade happened on the or the Eureka Rebellion happened, which was the whole legacy of the Goldfields rebellions, which first started in 1851 at Chewton and the Forest Creek goldfields there, not far from Castlemaine, obviously followed by Red Ribbon Rebellion in Bendigo in 1853, and which culminated in the bloodshed of the 3rd of December 1854 here in Ballarat. It's not far from here, about a 5-minute drive for the actual location it happened. Also, too, this was also a historical city, and in the formation of National Trade Union Congress. They had the Intercolonial Trade Union Congresses of the 1890s, along with the movement for federation as well to form the Australian nation. So that's obviously. This is a very historical town, I think, for everyone here in Australia. There's some very significant characters. Our very own revolutionary Monty Miller, who fought in Eureka, born in Tasmania, then known as Van Diemen's Land in the colonial times. Escaped from a brutal apprentice master in Sydney and came to Victoria looking for his family, and first started working as a shepherd on a sheep station north of Melbourne, and obviously when the gold rush happened, he went on to the goldfields and fought in the Eureka Rebellion here. And obviously played a very prominent role in the labour movement thereafter, right through to when he passed away in his 80s in 1920, just before the formation of the Communist Party of Australia, just for a few days before. So that's certainly is a well-known city for us here in this very historical heartland for the trade union movement and for the working class struggle here in Australia. And it's proud of the fact to actually speak from here. I'm actually speaking in the Ballarat Trades Hall at the moment. I'm just in our office. So while I have a little bit of time beforehand, I thought I'll go live. Very simple reason I haven't done a live for the last 2 weeks. I have been very busy, a few things happening on a weekend, so just a lot of my time's taken up as well. Still continuing on with Working Class Revolt with Dust James, and also Keaton Mansfield as well. We had, although Keaton couldn't make it last Sunday, we had a good lineup with some Chicano comrades. A big shout out to Corona, Matt Cedillo, and also Ernesto, who was involved in that. It was a great discussion, lively discussion. And I believe Dust actually was also live yesterday with his Anti-Imperialist America as well. Back live again on our Sunday morning at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Working Class Revolt. And I will also be I'll be live on Centre of Political Innovation, which is 8 a.m. on Monday. This Monday. coming up, which is, I think it's the 26th of April for us, and it'll be 6 p.m. in the evening in the US on the eastern seaboard over there, and I will be doing a discussion or a talk on May Day, or then the lead up to it, and obviously there'll be an excellent presentation on that, and why it's also very important for us today as well, not just for those who fought for the original 8-hour days back in the 1800s. And obviously this is where I want to actually a little discussion why it's important, why it's struggling for a shorter work week is still a key to workers' struggle to this day. Obviously, with the advancement of technology now under capitalism, where a lot of people have been put out of work for automation, a lot of high casualisation and an increase in part-time employment. Well, I think it's been historical. The fact is, it's imperative. I think we should put the shorter work week back on the agenda again. Not just we're struggling for the 8-hour day anymore. In some key sectors, such as the construction industry, they fought for the 36-hour week, and some sectors have a 35-hour week. And historically, too, this year, 2021 is the 40th anniversary of all the metal unions achieving the 38-hour week back in 1981. So that's it's important for us now to have this back on the agenda. It's been a fine history of us in Australia struggling for a shorter work week, and we should be demanding a shorter work week with no loss in pay. And that's vitally important as well. We need to take it and need to make sure we put the demand in there as well. It's be a key demand today. Obviously, as I said, with the technology that's coming in now, we should be able to actually have a lot more leisure time and enjoy our own cultural pursuits, without having to be tied to the machine of work all the time in order just to scrape by and make a living. I think it's a good demand to have. I'm saying it's a revolutionary demand, but it certainly is a good demand and a good important demand into the right direction where we need to go. I think it's a good one to actually have that discussion and to organise around as well. Historically, as in Australia, we've had a rich history of fighting for a shorter work week and for a reduced work day with no loss in pay. I mean, the 8-hour a day was finally achieved right through every industry in the early 1900s, and obviously the reduction of the short of a work week right down through to the 40-hour week into the 1940s, and obviously as once again the 35-hour week in some industries by the 70s, and the 38-hour week, which spread for everywhere else back in the 1980s and onwards. So I think we need to get this back on the agenda. Some other countries are pursuing it, looking for ahead with the shorter work week. I believe France has a 35-hour week. I believe Belgium has a 32-hour week. Don't quote me on that. We'll need to look into that research, but there's other countries around, yes, in the capitalist spectrum, are looking at a shorter work week. So maybe that's something we should be actually talking about instead of a UBI, universal basic income, maybe a shorter work week in that way too, to increase employment. And that way to allow us once again to have a lot more leisure time to pursue cultural pursuits, spend time with family, and generally enjoy life overall. So that's something worthwhile we need to look at. I think I'm putting it out there now. Once again, we have a rally today here in Ballarat. I believe it starts at 11:30, 12 o'clock up in Sturt Street. I'll be there. I hope there'll be others there as well. And we need and to keep that tradition going. So then this is, once again, this is a good lead up to May Day. We have May Day rallies throughout the 1st and 2nd of May now, in 2 weekends' time. Obviously, we'll contact your respective trade unions to find out where they are. In Melbourne's on the 2nd of May, but once again in Bendigo we have ours on the 1st of May, and I believe in Sydney there's also on the 1st of May as well. There is a push also, just to make mention of that, there is a push now to have May in Australia celebrated, not just celebrated, but marched on the 1st of May, when it's supposed to be not the first convenient Sunday of the month or the Monday, etc. We want it back on the 1st of May. As Marx once said, words of all countries unite, and that's in the spirit of that, as well as class unity around the world. I highly recommend that. Once again, I just wanted to highlight that. I think we should actually put the shorter work week back on the agenda. With the excessive hours a lot of people are working these days, or with the precarious employment they face, I think a shorter work week is imperative. What will that be? Be a 30-hour week, a 32-hour week? Well, that's a discussion we all need to collectively discuss and make a decision on, and also collectively how we move forward with it. It's not going to be given to us. Someone's not going to come along with an idea and legislate it. We need to actually take up the struggle ourselves. So once again, this is a celebrate today. Keep this in mind. It's a very important date for us here in Australia, but for all workers around the world. And leading up to May Day, I think it's imperative that I encourage all comrades and everyone that's listening to this to turn up to their respective May Day marches. And if you happen to be Ballarat today, you're most welcome to come to the rally as well. I just want to end it there, doing a short live today. I'll leave it off from here, from dare to struggle, dare to win. If you don't fight, you lose. And once again, I'll repeat what Mark said, workers of all countries, unite. Thank you.